One thing that we haven't spoken to yet at all here is the question of privacy. So Dreher devotes an entire chapter to what he calls capitalism woke and watchful. And basically, it is certainly true, and anyone who's read any of the relevant literature or knows any of the relevant history knows that to be free to speak the truth, you have to create for yourself a zone of privacy that is inviolate. You need the privacy to think without anyone looking into your thoughts, and to speak where people whom you don't want listening can't listen. And into that truth, that universal, never will change human truth, we have smart speakers, right? Which apparently over 25% of Americans have invited smart speakers into their homes for convenience, because it's nice to be able to say, "Hey Alexa, put grapes on the list," or whatever it is. We haven't. We shuddered to think when they came out, and I think you've been to one of our children's friends' houses once, where you reported that they were there and came out kind of shuddering afterwards, going, "I didn't actually know that we knew people who had those things in their homes." They are potentially so dangerous.
Yes. On that topic, I would just amend what you said slightly. Alexa, please put anti-racist grapes on the list.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thanks, Alexa. Did I get that right? Alexa, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess.
And, add to that, polls now suggest that millennials and Gen Z customers are especially prone to seeing their consumer expenditures as part of creating a socially conscious personal brand identity. So this is human being as consumer. This is, add to the fact that these are kids often raised on legal drugs that prevent them from understanding their own moods or forming their own identities, who've been protected from all risk and danger and intrigue by their parents, who've been hiding behind screens their entire lives because at first they were cheap babysitters, then they became safer ways to engage socially than actually risking a one-on-one or a real group interaction. And now you have, of course, the fact that they are seen by market America, by corporate America, mostly as organisms with money to spend. And how do you profit most off of such an individual? You make them view themselves primarily through the branding lens. What kind of person am I? I'm a person with an iPhone. What kind of person am I? I'm a person who aspires to drive a Tesla, right? And who wears these kinds of shoes and those kinds of glasses and all of this. And that is far older than the modern algorithms and than the particular instantiation of a revolution that is brewing in weird countries right now. But it is circling around the same goal of basically relieving individuals of their human agency.
Yes, and there's a deep flaw in the psyche that does not recognize that effectively consuming is a debt that you owe to the world. And to the extent that you are going to consume, then it's all debt. Now, the question is, can you bring something of value to the world that begins to address the fact of your having consumed all that stuff? That's the hope. And, I'm not intending to blame anybody who doesn't have the tools to be productive, but the fact is we should be thinking in these terms. What is the point of a life in which, the most productive thing you did was, basically curate a series of brands into some kind of, slightly personal identity, right? That's nothing to aspire to.
No, it's not.
So anyway, yes, I am increasingly disturbed by the fact that it seems to me that we have a very immediate problem, the solution to which is obviously several generations of work. Right? What do we do about the fact that if you solved the problem of woke ideology and our slide towards totalitarianism tomorrow, you still have a large population of people who have been hobbled by the stupid way we have dealt with education and development and pharmaceuticals and all of that stuff. And, there's no way around it. That has to be dealt with. And it is actually our collective obligation to deal with it.
Yes.
And if we don't, it will come for us.